My name is Dwight, and this is my Savior story. I come from a broken home, basically. Had people in my family that drank a lot, and they had bad tempers, and they just, I didn't know what a normal home life was, and I thought everybody hollered and cussed and drank all the time, and I just, and I had people in my life that, like my grandmother, that tried to help me learn about Christ, but I was drugged from what we used to call pillar to post, and I never had anything stable. And I've been in and out of jail, and I've done time, and been in the military, been in a lot of broken relationships, and more than once God pulled me out of a hole. I've asked Him for help, and He took care of that. But I wound up getting on crack and crystal meth and drinking alcohol and beer and marijuana and doing all that at one time. And I told God, I said, if you'll help me this time, I won't leave you. Because so many times I have asked Him for help. He's pulled me out of a bind, and I went on about my merry way. But back in '95, when all this started, I didn't like people, didn't trust people, didn't want to be around people, and I wound up going back to church. And that was real hard for me because I didn't want to be around quote-unquote hypocrites. But there were a few people that genuinely loved me because of who I am, or who I was. And they showed that every time I saw them. And those 4 or 5 people out of a few hundred built a trust in me, or let me build a trust in them and other folks. And I started opening up. I mean, there's probably metal chairs that's got my handprints in them from squeezing them because I wasn't walking down. Not so much because I knew I wasn't worthy, but I wasn't going to open up to be hurt by nobody again. But when I laid on the floor in the woods in that trailer, and I talked to God about all this, He began to work in me anew again. And slowly but surely, I learned to trust in Him more. Because God's the only person that's never left me. Never. And I started trusting in Him more, and I read a few books, and I read the Bible, and I read the Prayer of Jabez, and it's still my favorite. And I learned to say a little prayer about being a flickering light. So how did I know that through God's timing that I would start riding a motorcycle again and become part of a motorcycle ministry and reaching out to the least, the lost, and the left out? Because of God, I've learned to share the gospel in less than 2 minutes. And it's not just being able to share it. The people that I know, my friends, they see me. They see me every day. And they know that when you see me today, I'll be the same today, tomorrow, and next week, and next year. I'm not going to change. And serving Christ is all I want to do. Not for me, but for Him. We had I was part of a benefit here a while back, not too long ago, and it was a motorcycle benefit for a fallen rider that's down and out. And there was different clubs from all across the spectrum there. People that normally don't associate were saying hi and having their photos taken and standing around talking and stuff. And that was a God thing. It is a God thing. And God is still growing that. And it's just, I don't know what to say except that, I've been broken, I've been beat, and I've learned that in order to serve God, you have to be mashed and pulled and prodded, and he'll take stuff out of you that he don't want. That's not going to give him honor and give him glory. And when we allow those things to happen, when we stand fast, when we stay rooted long enough for him to complete some of his works, then his works will be evident in our lives. And people from time to time, they'll say something about what Dwight does, or Dwight did this, or Dwight did this, but see, I do nothing. It's not me. In fact, I have a little joke. I tell people I cheat, because Christ tells us he's not coming back until everybody's had the chance to hear him. So what I suggest to you is, if you want Christ to come back quick in a hurry, start telling folks about him. Because the more folks that hear about him, the quicker he's coming back. And that's my story.